In 10 seconds, he hacked it. Amid his pride, a fresh, charming woman caught his eye. Unbeknownst to him, she'd changed his fate. The next morning, he came to the coffee shop for breakfast and bumped into the curly-haired girl again. Sitting down, they both found today's coffee much worse. But once seated, the curly-haired girl pulled out items he had just borrowed from the store. Turns out, his name is Devin, a world-famous jewel thief. Basically a modern-day Robin Hood, minus the general. He approached our hero to invite him to a not-so-official heist crew. Emails and contests were just his test. Clearly, he was pleased, thinking of coasting, but the next target was tempting. They had their sights set on the 4 legendary vaults. Wouldn't you know it? Aside from the one at the bottom of the ocean, the other 3 were still doing their 9 to 5. They needed to pull off 3 heists before the deadline. No pressure, right? So Devin left him with some thinking time, and the more our hero thought about it, the more the thrill got to him. Eventually, our hero decided to join, as if his life suddenly turned into a roller coaster of adventure and surprises. He followed Devin's address to the base, where other team members showed up one by one, like the coolest superhero meetup you've ever seen. After confirming info and plans, they started. First stop, a small Paris bank. Our hero, nervous as a kid at a dance. To avoid raising eyebrows, he pretended to be a passerby and dashed to the restroom, gearing up for a dramatic twist. Devin made his move while the guard was opening the door. It was like a scene straight out of a bank showdown. When he reached the counter, he pretended to be a foreign customer, triggering a mad rush to find the manager, the only one in the bank who spoke the lingo. Then they beheld one of the legendary vaults, and yeah, you could say he was freaking out like a kid in a candy store. He played music, spun like a dancer, removing his jacket, secretly turning the dial. Before they knew it, they cracked the safe and stuffed it with cash, feeling like they'd just hit the jackpot. After that, they casually strolled out of the bank, completing their first heist like it was a casual day out. But little did they know. The cops had already clocked them and recognized Devin and the crew. Things were heating up. Meanwhile, our heroes returned to base, enjoying their sweet victory like they had just won at life. Watching Devin dance, our hero sank deeper into his feelings, realizing he was totally charmed by her. But he noticed how close Devin was with another guy and felt a bit awkward, so he decided to follow her. Turns out, Devin was a rich heiress who found her kosher life utterly boring, like a princess without the fun. As they chatted, they began to discuss the next plan, heading to Prob to pull off a heist that was even trickier than before. This time, they also had to dodge cops in ambush, and our hero couldn't help but think, this feels like an action-adventure game. So our hero pretended to be a branch employee. This was getting serious like a roleplay gone wild. He whipped out forged ID, and shockingly, they passed without a hitch. Talk about beginner's luck. To get through the locked doors, our hero pretended to have the key, putting on quite the show, while the hacker gal worked behind the scenes. Then Devin followed suit, and they finally met in the elevator like they'd found their long-lost partners. Suddenly, our hero thought, asking Devin, aren't you cozy with others? Why are you still with me? Devin denied having a close relationship with him, but unfortunately, another guy overheard them, rendering it an incredibly awkward moment. Boom. A security guard appeared, and Devin instantly reacted, taking out 2 guards like a lightning bolt. Our hero cracking the safe ran into a hitch. The guard noticed something was off. All elevators were locked down, and the cops swooped in. Things were getting intense. The hacker gal quickly relayed the news to Devin, who had to initiate the backup plan on the fly. He busted into the bank like a superhero, showcasing his impressive martial skills, and took control of the scene. It was odd that the cops were a no-show. Turns out, they went to the wrong bank. Total amateur move. On the other hand, our hero was in trouble. The dial jammed as the protective mechanism kicked in, leaving him in it. At the last minute, he had to reset his mind and give it another shot, everyone holding their breath in suspense. He closed his eyes and tried again, and just like that, success. But just as they were about to cheer, things took another turn. He yanked open the safe, and cash shot down like confetti. They embraced each other in excitement as if they'd won the lottery. Just then, Devin said, "Quick, we need to bail." They hurried to stash the cash and blended into the crowd to escape. Little did they know they were about to be left high and dry. Devin watched in disbelief as the others vanished, and it felt as though her heart was being ripped apart. Suddenly, the blaring sirens made our hero, Hans, panic, and he ran off like a headless chicken. He spotted a lady's bag, snuck over, and grabbed it, only to find it was locked. Talk about bad luck. Fortunately, at this moment, A young man nearby also possessed a bicycle. Hans swiftly shoved him aside and jumped onto it as if it belonged to him. He cleverly maneuvered the bike between the police cars, riding like the wind until, oops, he went flying off. The cop spotted him again, and he had no choice but to escape, weaving through the streets like a pro racer in a stunt film.